This is Progress Culture.
The strangest thing about the arts is in many ways is an essential service, but it's not directly essential to anything. It's like, I mean, when you think about all the crazy things that are going on in the world today because of the anxiety and the uncertainty that our society experiences, and all the social fault lines that are becoming exacerbated and brought about, or brought to the surface, they've really always been there. If you need that, music in and of itself is an outlet to relieve some of that anxiety. It's almost like when you dream, like you have a problem. They say if you get a good restful sleep and you dream, your brain processes things in a way that it doesn't in the world, and music is kind of like in that space. But the problem is now in the times that we live, what do we need? We need energy, we need medicine, we need shelter. So we need health, shelter, medicine, and gas, food. That's what we know. That's what we can touch. We can measure everything in terms of that. We can't measure what you're doing here.
Sure.
But do you need it? Well, if I had to choose between having a gun or having this, I would take this any day of the week. Right. And they're both ways to express.
That's true. Well, what's interesting too. I have not thought about it that way before.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that what you said here is that these artistic endeavors are not something that seems as if they are essential to anything.
Yeah.
Well, we've always needed food, shelter, and water, and medicine, and protection, and all these things. But I imagine that as far back as you can go, where there were people that at the same time that they still needed to pursue those things, that they were probably also singing and dancing.
Yeah.
In the time they must have been, because that's it. It seems it's part of the way that you begin to vocalize is doing those things and having movement and expressing through the voice and oralizations.
That goes back to primitive cultures,
right,
too. Yeah,
it's got to be essential to something.
Well, we think about it this way: when there's conflict, nobody's singing and dancing. Right. But when everybody is eating and everything is stable, people got time to sing and dance.
Look, that might be the case, but check this out. For real. And maybe I'm wrong. I've never been in any situation that is violence and war like that. I recently met a man who was in the Vietnam War, and he's 72 or something like that, and he said, "Hey, do you want to see some pictures?" And I said, "Wow, well, yeah. I don't know what I'm about to get into. And he said, "It's history." And I said, "Yeah, I do want to see it." So he brings out 2 photo albums, and there's some pretty gory stuff in there. And these people, ginormous pieces of artillery. Like, just to me, I don't see stuff like that very often. So it was like pretty staggering. And you have these kids that are 18, 19 years old in charge of all these things. But among all these pictures of artillery and war and pretty gory stuff, there were people hanging out and playing, and they were playing music, yeah, and going to these shows at the same time.
You need that balance. You can't just look at that. That'll change who you are. You need something to process that.
Yeah.
Some people process it drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get an endorphin rush playing music.
There was actually, I believe it was Auschwitz. There was a band that they were in the concentration camp as prisoners, and for whatever reason, the Nazis formed a band, and they had a leader, and they played music every single day.
Yeah.
And they said that a lot of the people that were in the band ended up surviving. And
Wow.
there was a whole special on 2020 about it a few months ago, But the whole point of the story was exactly what you're saying, which was everyone always asks these people, how did you play music? I don't understand how you could have done that. All the terrible things that were happening around you. And, they said, well, what else were we to do? Seriously.